Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem. We all know why we're here tonight, because we know Mr. Husing, a gentleman, a person of principle, a person that has spent over 40 years of his life contributing to the community, not just to the Chinese community, but all community at large in Ontario and across Canada. All of you, and I'm sure if I ask to raise your hands, he has touched each and every one of our lives with his passion, with his generosity, with all the good things that he has done for each and every one of you. He's a champion of Canada, a true patriot, and also have a passionate love of his homeland, China. Throughout his life, he has acted as a bridge between Canada and China, forging relationships socially, culturally, and economically. He's also a gentleman that has always taken care of the young, encouraging them, guiding them to the right path, and introducing them to the right connections and network. He's a person that is also very humble and never the one to blow his own trumpet. And I'm so glad that over 300 of you tonight have joined in with the Culture Centre of Greater Toronto to celebrate this very special evening with him. Thank you very much for coming tonight. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Dr. Ming Tak Chung, Chair and President of the Culture Centre of Greater Toronto, to say a few words to us.
It is always very difficult to follow names like that, because all you want to say is you already said it. But anyway, throughout the years, I have seen many people in the community receive different kinds of honors, such as Ontario or Canada and so forth. But I always wondered about Husing, because he's the person who has done so much for the community. First of all, he's done so much establishing good relations between China and Canada. He's helped out all the new immigrants from China or from other parts of the country. And he has also done a lot of charity fundraisers for overseas disasters or any good cause in our community. After doing all that, I still wonder why he has not been properly recognized in our community or from Canada itself. So when Mr. Bob Wong called me the other day, he said, would you like to nominate Husing as the recipient of Order of Ontario? Of course, I jumped right away. I said, of course, that's one person I think deserves than anybody else. So the rest is the history. I think it is very important for everyone to notice how important it is for being a volunteer in the community. I think the reason why the Chinese community is so far ahead of many other communities, not only because of the number of the people, but also because we've done so much. Everyone and each one of you here have done so much in contributing to success of a community. I would like to wish Hughes a continuous good health and continues to help the community. Thank you.
Some of our special guests celebrate in honor of Hughes. First, we would like to recognize the Honorable Jerry. Jerry is the Minister of International Affairs for the Province of Ontario. MP for the Federal Republic of China. Got here with Deputy Consul General Hao Hongfeng. Michael Chan.
I'll make sure that stay on
係謹代表粵面嘅華人協會向全體多倫多市嘅華人恭祝豬年大家行好運，身體健康，萬事如意。多謝各位。
What Hughes added. So it's fitting, I think, that the new Council General is sitting beside our friend Hughes. And Hughes, that's one of your great accomplishments. If you don't mind, I also welcome my new colleague, Michael Chan. I guarantee you, he's a very talented person. You I also, Sharika said that Hughes has been making a contribution for 40 years. I think I've known Hughes for 40 years. He's been a good friend of mine, an advisor, a counsel. I look to Hughes constantly for advice. You can learn from Hughes too. The things that I admire about Hughes, he makes you feel better. Hughes is an enormously talented person, but when he works with you, he brings out the best in people, in every person. He also has an enormous sense of optimism. Have you ever seen Hughes down? I never have. He has that sense of optimism. He makes things happen. Minka Chung, you've worked on this center for almost 20 years now, probably, in this province that exists as a result of Hughes. He's been a tremendous source of advice to me. I don't know how he does it, but he quietly whispers in your ear advice, and you get on to do it. Let me just call you up here, Hughes, if I can. And it's Ontario. I send my sincere congratulations, Hughes, upon your appointment in the Port of Ontario. Sincere thanks for your outstanding contribution for many years to the people and the province of Ontario. Signed by myself on behalf of the Government of Ontario. Thanks, Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, a warm welcome to the Consul General on Day 8 in Canada. Very pleasure for me to meet you. I have not known Hughes for as long as Jerry has, but on virtually day one of politics, the same day I met Michael Chan, just over 6 years ago, I met Hughes in. And I must say I feel very privileged to know Hughes, who I think is one of the kindest people I know, one of the humblest people I know, and one of the most effective people I know at actually getting things done. I also think that Hughes reflects the strength of Canada, because it's okay in Canada if you love your homeland and you love your new country, Canada. It's not a competition. You could love them both. And I think Hughes personifies that hugely important function of building bridges between the old country, China, and the new country, Canada. And I think he's done a fantastic job in that over the decades. And I remember we were at Hughes' 80th birthday. And then we were driving home and Nancy said to me, well, what's going on with this Order of Ontario? You know, Hughes is not getting any younger. And so that was a stimulus for us to get a move on. But congratulations, Hughes. You have richly deserved that overdue recognition that you have received from Ontario. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would also like to extend a welcome to the new Consul General. It is a wonderful occasion for the new Consul General to be attending one of her first events here in Canada. Hughes, I'd like to personally congratulate you and to say that for all the years that we've known each other, actually I think my relatives knew Hughes even before I really knew Hughes. And so I feel as if our families have been intertwined for many, many decades. But when a number of the people in the room here volunteered and said, you know, we want to help recognize our old friend Hughes. One of the difficulties we had, and I want to thank John McCallum and Michael Chan and Ming Tat Chung and many of the others, the great difficulty we had was that Hughes has accomplished so much that for us to begin gathering information on exactly what he has accomplished was a Herculean task. As Jerry Phillips would know, having been a former Minister of Citizenship, and myself as Minister of Citizenship, you have to put in an application form. And in the process of putting that together, as many of the speakers have said before me, Hughes has touched all of our lives at all levels. Certainly in the community and socially. Almost every function that has affected this community, the Greater Toronto and Ontario community, where it affected the Chinese-Canadian community, Hughes has had some effective, quiet involvement behind the scenes. This love, I think, trying to make Canada and Ontario a better place to people that he wants to get involved with home. He gives us all that extra little nudge. So here's good health, prosperity, congratulations.
And there for those in need. You know, when we were building this building, we approached the caucus for money, and because of Hughes and others, it was done. Whether it was for SARS when there was difficulties, Hughes was there with others, and it was done so that we could all help. And there's always a sense of fairness with Hughes, as Jerry referred to. It doesn't matter what the issue is, he's always in the background. Doesn't want the praise, doesn't want the congratulations, just wants to get the job done quietly and with respect. And that is truly a person that is reflective of what Canada's aspirations are. And without people like Hughes, this country would not be what it is today. So Hughes, congratulations and Godspeed. Thank you.
Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring number one, greetings from Town of Richmond Hill to Hughes, as well as to Zhuzhong, our Consul General of the People's Republic of China. I hope you'll visit the Town of Richmond Hill one day. But the reason we are here today is to honor a man with great compassion. A man I'm not going to repeat, many of you have already said very nice things about Hughes. I'm only going to share a very, I would say, personal moment that I have with Hughes with you. Bob, our former Minister of Energy and former Minister of Citizenship, had mentioned, Hughes is certainly very inspirational. We are like a mentor to help people with political aspiration. And I, for one, as you know, have been running for election at the municipal level the last year. Hughes has been very instrumental in really motivating me, encouraging me to try my best at both, not just the good times, sometimes not as good times. So for that, I'm truly grateful, Hughes. Getting back to what we are here today, I'd also like to, on behalf of Town of Richmond Hill, offer you, Hughes, a well-deserved Order of Canada recipient, a memento by the Town of Richmond Hill. And if I may call you up here, I'd like to present this to you, Hughes. If I may read it to Mr. Hughes A., the recipient of the Order of Ontario. It is with great honor to congratulate you on the appointment to the Order of Ontario, the province's most prestigious official award in December 2006. The recipients of the OO, as we call it, represent the best and the brightest in this province. As the Lieutenant Governor put it, they are exemplary role models for us all. And you're looking at Hughes here, has provided decades, and I mean decades, of exemplary community services in Ontario. He has demonstrated his commitment to help the community in a very good number of areas and respond to many needs of the community. Where there is a need, there is Hughes. You are well respected, not only among Chinese Canadians, and I may add, in the Greater Toronto area, including our town, but also by the officials of all three levels of government. As a well-respected community leader, Hughes, you inspire us all to do our part in making contributions to the betterment of our society. For that, we truly thank you. And Hughes, thank you very much again, and congratulations.
everything, and I just discovered Hill's Kung Fu is far less than his contribution to the community. Yeah. I'm delighted to be here, Hill, to congratulate you, being the, not Kung Fu of course, being the recipient of the Order of Ontario. Now, lots of things talk about Hills, on community, on China, Canada relationship, on almost everything. But there's one thing that is seldom talked about. It's Hills' family value. I remember when Hills, your father was 100 years old, your brother come over from China to unite the family. There was one moving moment. Not that Hills took after his own immediate family world. Hills actually extended his love for family to his brother, the niece. I remember one year when the niece come over and Hills hosts them, but at the same time asked me to send them to Niagara Falls and drive them there. Thank you, Hills. But yes, Hills is really a family man. I remember a couple of years ago when your brother was sick in China, and I did have the privilege to go to China with you, go to the hospital and visit your brother, and I can see the time that when you talk to your brother and your sister-in-law, I know this man, he really emphasized the Chinese culture of family value. And thank you very much.
Now it's our pleasure to invite people of the Republic of China in Toronto to say a few words. Madame?
Honorable Mr. Hill, Minister of Government Service, Member of Parliament of Honorable. I can pronounce the name very correctly. And Honorable Michael Chan, congratulations for being elected as the Member of Parliament. And all the new friends. Before I come here to Toronto, the Minister of Canadian Embassy, Mr. Collins, set up luncheon for me. And he warned me that Toronto will elaborate in Toronto will be the coldest season. And tonight, before I enter this hall, I really felt a little bit cold. However, when I come here, I feel very warm. Because the reason is that dear and respected friends, long-time friends, Mr. Hu Bin won the great honor given by the government of Ontario. The order was given to him. It is the highest award received by the well-known Chinese community leader. And we are very proud of him, of the success Mr. Hu has made. And the recognition by the government of Ontario, and the support and the warmth of the Chinese community, not only attending this occasion tonight, but also the community as a whole. The second warmth is that I will be able to meet with first time so many old friends of China here, including our former Minister of Defense, the President Minister of Government Service, and the former Member of Parliament of Federal Government, and the newly one, and many more. So I really, when they first welcomed me to be the Consul General in Toronto, I really feel very full of how to call it, feeling and excitement and determination to doing my job better. However, when I want to express myself, I really find my English is very poor, very poor. which I couldn't express my whole feeling completely. I wish during my service here in Toronto, I will be able to improve my English work better so that I can express myself better. Anyway, coming back to Mr. Hu, our respected leader. I agree with the previous honorable leaders and government officials' appraisal. Really, he deserved this pride and honor, and he has done a great deal and contributed for hundreds, several, how to call it, contributed for a long time to the community and the society of Canada, in business or in every field. And even he had already received several orders or honors already, and then another one coming last December. So this is I think this is not only the pride of Mr. Hu himself, the pride of his family, but also the pride of the Chinese community. So I shall take this opportunity on behalf of the Chinese Consulate General in Toronto to congratulate Mr. Hu for the order once again. Thank you. What I would like to say, my second point is that Mr. Hu also deserves praise, not only by me, but also by the Chinese government, the Chinese consulate, and even the Chinese embassy in worldwide, and even the government departments in China, because he has been devoting so much to promoting Canadian-China relations. He strongly support for the good relations between our two countries, since we are such important countries, both in the East and in the West. And Mr. Hu also contributed a lot to the bilateral trade and economic and cultural exchanges between Canada and China. And also, not to say, whenever our senior leaders coming over to Toronto, Mr. Hu always devoted all his energy, or even all his time to receiving and make arrangement for welcoming our senior leaders and some visiting groups. And also, I would like to mention, is that we appreciate for Mr. Hu's strong support for the unification of China to the anti-Taiwan independence, because this is not this is the majority wish of the Chinese Canadian people. So I appreciate a lot, but time is very short. I don't want to keep everybody listening to my poor English. And I wish that Mr. Hu have a longevity and will contribute more to the Chinese community here, and one more support by the Chinese community in Ontario. But last but not the least, I would like to extend my warm hands again to those our friends here tonight to welcome you to China. Again and again, not only one time, twice, again and again, because China has such a big population, a big market. If a 30 million population, more than 30 million population country such like Canada versus 1.3 billion China, people would say business opportunities and exchanges in various fields will be very huge in China. So, I once again extend my welcoming invitation to you, and I also promise that for those businessmen of Canadians, you might receive multiple entry visas, 1 year or twice or because that is very beneficial for both of us. Anyway, what I said is I will keep my promises. Anyway, once again, good spring festival, good health, good wish to Mr. Hugh and all of you. And last, 祝大家春节好，共回发财。多谢晒。
Thank you, Madam Sue.
And for Mr. Hussein to stay. This is a platform from the Honorable Michael Minister of Citizenship and Immigration, and he would like to present you this plan. Present to Hussein, congratulations on your investiture in the Order of Ontario. Through your tireless efforts, you have made an extraordinary difference in the Chinese community and in Ontario. Thank you for helping to build a greater community and promise for us all. February 11, 2007. Signed by Minister Goh.
I just have a book here written by the Federation of Chinese Youth of Canada, and I would like to speak a few words. And many aspects of contributions and compliments about Hugh has been said. I'm here on behalf of the Federation of Chinese Youth of Canada. I only want to highlight one thing. Hugh has been a tremendous supporter of the young people, the immigrants. I'm sure back to 60 years ago when Hugh arrived in Canada, still a young boy. And we have been witnessing the success life story of Hugh. Hugh has been our advisor of the Federation of Chinese Youth Canada, and also he is the only owner advisor of this book called "Blooming in the Maple Leaf." This book has been just published and also just arrived yesterday. As a matter of fact, I just picked it up today. So it's a great honor to present this book to Hugh and to show our respect. Hugh has been set up as a role model to the young generation in Canada. So thank you very much for your support.
The spouse of the directors. May.
Calling May. Oh.
Never know Hughes have so many women in mind. I don't know. Would you please come over? Here. 1, 2, 3. I'm one. Look at me. 1, 2, 3. Great. Thank you.
And all I say the good thing about me, of course they don't want to say anything otherwise. I really moved and really appreciate so many old friends, good friends, showing up here to give me that kind of encouragement. What it means, you keep going, doing work for the community, never quit. I guess that's the message. But unfortunately, the age, as you grow and grow older, what you want to do properly, physically, you're not going to make it. So I tried to slow down for the last couple of years, but all my friends claim you're still in good shape. They never think I would retire. I wish this true. Now, the government gave me this Order of Ontario. Mr. Cohen Chen said a little while ago, this is an OO. Depends on how you can say it. You say OO, you're in trouble. That means they picked the wrong guy. That's very, very exciting. So it depends how you're going to look at it. And the way I look at it, the all of Ontario is a half and a half. The good half is really saying what you've done is possible. But the other half, you worry. You worry people only know the good side of you. Now, since you get all of Ontario, everybody put a bit of attention on your bad side. Nobody perfect. I have a lot of shortcomings, and you never know before. But now, if you have a close up at me, then you find all the kind of bad thing about me. That's what I'm worried the other half of it besides. So I hope I'm still able to continue to hide my weakness. I will let you know about it. And as time goes by, you probably cool. You're not going to keep a close eye on me anymore. And then I will enjoy my normal life again. Now, this order of Ontario is really the government put something, it's some sort of a guideline, expect someone really done something good for the society, for the community, or even for the nation. And hopefully the youngsters would take that as something they're going to aim in the future. That is in theory, that's what it is. But once you get the order of Ontario, are you really able to do that? Are you really able to do all of the good things and let the youngsters to look up to you as a model? That is really something for us all to look at it. When someday some of you get the order of Ontario or even get an order from Canada, they all have that sort of implication, expect you to do everything. People would go along with you, pray you. That's what all the orders are about. Now, this year, it's a 29 recipients with all of Ontario. 9 of them is all with a medical degree, doctors. They've done research work, treating patients, done all the good things for the public. The other 9 is a scholar, educators, set up good example for the youngster too, to learn to copy. And 3 of them, another 3 recipient is a well-known in the media world, such as John Honorage, is the publisher of Toronto Star. And 2 is very loyal public employee, such as the lady in charge of the Ontario Science Center, able to raise $40 million for the center, and the last year able to bring in 1.2 million to visit the Ontario Science Center. That's a remarkable accomplishment. Another 2 is a mentor. One of them invented the BlackBerry. He made a lot of money. He donated $150 million to the research institute in Waterloo University. And that is a really remarkable recipient. And then take a single one on the sport, on the music. They have their own field. They all of them is a good person, good people accomplish something in their own field. One is others. It's not the category. That one is me. I'm not of any kind of expert. I'm only an ordinary, a little guy. Is Mr. Michael Chen on the last campaign. He recently won. It's that he projects himself. I'm a little guy. So congratulations, Michael, and won the beautiful Toronto by election. So I'm only one of those. He accomplished anything remarkable. So I have to be humble compared with the others. On the citation, for me, why I get that all the volunteers, it's a few things. Two of them partly stand out. One is I helped to bring the pandering to Toronto some 20 years ago. Secondly, I have the Dan Mayor article to set up the trade agreement between Toronto and Chongqing. Yes, I did some work, but not all the work I did it myself. Like the tender, you bring the tender in, that's not the end of it. Tender eat bamboo shoots. In Canada, in Toronto, where can you find the bamboo? But the father saw the problem. His name is Ron Barbaro. He's one of the recipients for all of Ontario as well. This year, he was the chair of Parliamentary Zoo. He able to use his influence to work with Air Canada, bring the bamboo shoots leaf from California every day without any cost. At that time, we gave AC, Air Canada, another name, Federal Express. We didn't pay, we didn't cost us anything. And that's the reason why Ron Barbaro received the recipient as well. So he is the one accomplished this remarkable thing, not me. And I follow in Chongqing. I like to know where Chongqing is when this thing come up. We suggest, or he asks us, do you have any recommendation which city is the best to trade with Toronto? So I guess the main, the Ping Tang and myself at that time to give him my idea. I think the best is Shanghai. Well, Shanghai is too late. Shanghai is already trading with Montreal. So we think about if not Shanghai, Guangzhou then. We love when people speak Cantonese here. You're too late. Vancouver is already trading with Guangzhou. So Toronto is always behind the bar. And then Tianjin is another good place. We pick those places close to the seaside because that with the transportation with the ship of the boat is easier. So at that time, our Consul General from China is Sha Dongcheng, Mr. Sha. I guess you remember that. Mr. Sha said, well, let us think about it. Let you know in about 2 weeks. 2 weeks from Mr. Sha said, we come up with an answer, Chongqing. Very firm. There's no talk about it. So Chongqing, we want Chongqing. So others said, well, we'll go along whatever they can offer. But that's why we treat with Chongqing. But the one behind the scene down on the road, again, not me. I think one of Professor Lumsden of York University, give some influence as well as the impact. So I already decided but they give me the credit, I'm lucky. Say the fuel tree is sharp. That is everyone make everyone scared. Nobody goes to downtown, the restaurant, so the market is scared. Who organized this anti-SARS movement? And they give me the credit. I think it's all about jealousy belongs to him. It's not for me. Writer, doctor, but he's so unselfish. He even make a recommendation to TV, you know about jealousy. So I'm not really the father. Did all the things my citation said. But anyway, this is the fact you cannot change it then now. Really a good thing for me and for the community, especially the Chinese community. We have a few of our members who received this award before, but I guess I haven't seen anything like that. So many people get together to celebrate. But me is because behind what I have done is a giant country behind there is China. If China is not strong and we don't have the urge to do business with China, to be a friend with China, I don't think they're going to take me. All of these vendor thing, trade with the Chongqing, so for Canada. And that's not what I've been doing the last 20 years. I try to build a friendship between these two countries. And friendship would increase the trade, increase the economic activities between these two countries, and make a lot of opportunity for the people in here and in China to make more money. To help to build a strong friendship between the two countries. Thus, we increase the trade, the economic activities between these two countries. 谢谢大家. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Isn't he a gentleman?